Yeah, they're a very important demographic. I'm not saying they vote as one block, but there's a lot of issues that unify them. They hate to see what is happening with the Trump administration, taking away money for nutrition and starving children and babies. They don't want to see the health care taken away. They want to have support with more housing programs. So they're frustrated with what they're seeing from the Trump administration. I know it and feel it because I speak to them very often. But they are a very important voice when it comes to politics in New York City and New York State. I think it's shockingly a dereliction of their duties that Republicans are hanging out in their districts when their job is in the Capitol to be voting to reopen government. And the president has a major role to play, and he has abdicated that as well. So that's why we're in this situation. There haven't even been negotiations and conversations. This is so unnatural. Even if you're having a shutdown, there's always conversations toward a resolution that go on behind the scenes. Republicans won't even do that. So they're the obstructionists. I can't give you a timeline, but the American people, as you saw on Election Day, especially all over New York, they're fed up with the antics of the Republicans. And for their own politics, they better get back to work. Well, I just allocated $106 million that we were not anticipating to have to support really the federal government's responsibilities. So we've allocated that to food banks in particular all over the state. But the breaking news is that there was just a court decision that requires the federal administration, the Trump administration, to provide 100% of the SNAP benefit dollars to our states. That averages about $650 million per month. So we went to court. We won again. Keeping scorecard. We're doing very well in court, but it's a damn shame that we have to go to court to tell the federal government when they're using our tax dollars that we send to Washington to provide programs like SNAP, that we have to go to court to get it back. So I'm really proud that we are able to accomplish that, but we don't need this stress. A lot of people have been very anxious about this. A lot of families and seniors and parents not sure what's going to happen when those SNAP benefits run out. And I want them to do it immediately. Restore the money to the cards and let these people start having the knowledge that they'll be able to feed their families. I think it's another rejection of Trump policies and rejection of candidates that were perceived as too close to Donald Trump. People don't want to have Donald Trump hands in running our city or our state with any candidates for next year. So I think they ought to be paying attention to that his brand is rather toxic in New York because of the policies, and certainly those people who have supported those policies will have a lot to pay for. So I look forward to working with the new mayor. It's a new energy, brought a lot of new voters. I think that's something that is really an important dynamic of our party, to keep embracing more people. It doesn't mean that there's only one philosophy that governs. That's certainly not the case or defines our party. As we saw, very moderate people get elected in other parts of our state. You focus on what you need to do to support the constituents who are in your districts and in your cities and in your counties. So and I'm real excited about it. My message is the same as it's always been. If we need your help with the National Guard, I'll give you a call. And I told him that in a conversation a couple of months ago. We're doing just fine. Crime, especially on our subways, again, hit a record low just this last month. And we're working on continuing to focus on public safety. So we don't need any extra help with safety. We certainly don't need any more ICE agents being deployed to our city, because I know that they said they have a quota, but clearly they cannot find enough of the people that they told us they would be going after. The worst of the worst, the violent criminals, the rapists, the murderers, the human traffickers, that's who they were going after, and we were going to help them with those. But it turns out maybe there aren't as many as they thought, because now they're going after families, taking more kids out of high schools and colleges and separating people who are at their jobs or literally going into the courthouse to follow the process, the legal process that they're supposed to. And they're being taken off literally while they're walking out of a court, when they're being captured and taken to detention centers from New Jersey to Texas and shipped back to their homes. So, no, I will look forward to a conversation, but if the thought is that there's some sort of chaos that has ensued in New York City as a result of the election, that's not happening. I won't let it happen, but I don't think that's even in the cards. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's all just this hysteria around the election of our mayor-elect, and we're going to fight back.